I'm obsessed with finding ways to challenge myself in the mountains. It's the ultimate proving ground. There are no rules, it's just you against the forces of nature. But as you test your limit, fewer places can give you the same challenge, until you stumble upon something that sticks out. A place found only by the most experienced bushwalkers, or the foolish. A place that involves negotiating Australia's most mountainous terrain. Just what I'm looking for. Andrew and I had been talking about a trip to the Opera House Hut for some time now. We'd set aside some time the month prior to give it an attempt, but made it no further than Jindabyne due to running out of LPG, despite LPG being advertised as available in Jindabyne. Things didn't look much more promising on the second attempt. We had at least made it to Charlotte's Pass, but a forecast for rain shortened what really needs to be an overnight effort into a one-day window, and I wasn't overly optimistic. Andrew, in his infinite wisdom, or lack thereof, has decided that we are going to meet Strzelecki Creek first by falling off the side of Sentinel Ridge.
Tune in, folks, for the most amazing climb out there.
He's going to be going first, that's for sure, and I'm going to be recording him just tumble. We'll see what happens, because I know for a fact that this is going to be incredibly stupid.
Wild, man.
Oh my god. Oh man. I'm not gonna have any pants after this. Holy shit. Strzelecki Creek up there goes up to Tennyson's Woods Knoll, and we are heading down that way. But considering that we just came from up there, I think we should hopefully have a easier time, but probably not. Probably not indeed. Over the course of 4 hours, we managed to clear just 1.5 kilometres. This involved negotiating waterfalls every 100 metres or so, some of which had to be bypassed by down climbing through shrub. We eventually made it to a point down the creek where the water had carved out a gorge, making all waterfalls impossible to bypass without a rope, which we did not have. I was concerned from the very beginning, and the descent down Strzelecki Creek's continuous cascades had pushed me over the edge, and I believed we'd dug ourselves a hole we may not be able to get out of. I don't usually lose my cool, but this was an exception. This is as far as we can go. Beyond this, it's not possible. There's not really anywhere down, and we've had to go through that to try and find a way down, and we just can't. So might have to cut our losses and head back while we still have the energy. We've decided it's a great idea to go into Seaman Hut the night before. Chanced it in hoping that there wasn't anyone else here. There were a couple people, but they did the smart thing by bringing a tent. We got lucky in that they're prepared bushwalkers, but we're prepared for a different kind of bushwalking. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. We are doing a lovely stroll from Seaman's Hut around to Lake Albina to begin the descent into the unknown. We had a lovely night of being harassed by a pair of resident rats in the hut, so I got maybe a solid 2 hours of sleep, which is hopefully enough. If it isn't, too bad. We're going anyway. Lake Albina marks the beginning of the descent down Lady Northcote Canyon. The initial climb involves negotiating rather large boulders and small waterfalls. These features diminish as you make your way down. We're ever so slowly working our way down the canyon. It's certainly a lot easier than Strzelecki Creek, but nonetheless you're still rock scrambling the entire way. It's a full body workout. I'm definitely feeling it everywhere. Getting down a little bit further, the shrubs increase and the boulders in the creek have decreased, so we have no choice but to go and dip our toes in and get a little bit damp now. Oh yeah, love it. What kind of trip would this be without a little bit of bush bashing? This was only necessary to bypass larger pools of water that we didn't exactly want to swim through on a cool autumn day. Oi. That wasn't part of the plan. Alright, so we've just arrived at Upper Canyon Falls, the main obstacle of the way down the Lady Northcote Canyon. It's about a 35-metre waterfall, and the map notes say to take the eastern bank down. Apparently there's a way. Made it down. The notes were right. The eastern bank is a lot better. It's not even cliffy. We just followed a deer track down the side and we were down in about 10 minutes. It was really easy. But now we're on James McArthur Creek and we're not far from the Opera House now. Here we are. We found the Opera House. That's it. That's what all this fuss has been about. This little stone hut that costs more to build per square metre than the Sydney Opera House. Doesn't look like much, but this is our accommodation for the night. Sort of can't believe it, that we actually made it. Got wood in here already.
Water.
There's mattresses?
Yeah, mattress.
Oh, we're living tonight. I've wanted to get to the Opera House hut for ages. Tried twice before, ran out of fuel in Jindy first, and couldn't get down Strzelecki Creek the second time. We got lucky today, headed down Lady Northcote Canyon from Lake Albina. Much nicer than Strzelecki Creek, but longer. The upper falls were climbed down on the eastern bank, easy 5-minute bush bash, heading up most likely via James McArthur Creek. We had an amazing lunch at the Opera House, and now we're just doing a small reconnaissance mission. We want to check out whether or not Crags Creek is going to be a a possible ascent option for tomorrow. It really all just depends on whether or not these showers that are forecast eventuate or not. If they do, I think we're just going to scratch it off the list and just go up James McArthur Creek, the easier option, the safer and less risky option. However, if things turn out to be good, we may as well have a crack at climbing up Watson's Crags. Oh, this is the infamous tunnel. Oh, hear that lovely echo. Not allowed to go through this tunnel. Naughty, naughty. Can't do it. Not allowed. Snowy Hydro doesn't want you to do it. So, checking out Craigs Creek didn't last very long. It's a lot smaller than Lady Norfolk Canyon, and the rock is a lot more slippery. The texture is different on it. It's certainly possible to climb, but if you want to do it, just got to go for it. I'd be happy to just go for it, but I think for this time we're just going to play it safe and go back up James McArthur Creek. However, there's still one more thing that we need to check out, and it's pretty cool. How wild is that? That's crazy. That's the actual canyon falls, not the upper falls. This is the 60 or so high meter waterfall at the bottom of Lady Norfolk Canyon. Pretty special. I want to say a quick thanks to Neve Gear for sending me one of their quilts, with no obligation to say anything on the matter. I was happy with the warmth of their quilt on this trip, and recommend looking into them if you're in need of a solid Aussie-made quilt. We are officially seduced by the Watson's Crags. We just couldn't stay away. We have to give it a go. We have to try and get up this creek. After seeing the red glow of the crags in the evening sunset, I was damned if I didn't have a go at climbing them via the creek, and Andrew felt the same. I'd read through the entirety of the Hut logbook and noted that a few previous parties had taken this route down and up, and during snowmelt as well. Someone had noted that the first 150 metres or so consisted of a series of waterfalls, but after our lovely time in Strzelecki Creek, this didn't faze us one bit. The middle part of the creek was steep but had many small boulders that led to easy scrambling, but after you pushed past the tree line the gradient somehow continued to steepen. With little more to hang on to other than shrub and bugger all fuel left in my tank, this final climb was absolutely soul-crushing.
Is it steep, Joshy?
What does it look like?
It looks walk in the park.
Nepali flat. Oh my god, we made it to the top. It's the steepest bloody terrain I've ever walked on, that's for sure. But we blitzed it anyhow. Only took us 3 hours and we're on the top now. There's one thing we're both looking forward to, and that's coffee and gingerbine. I need a walking stick.